FM and 1350 AM. The Ticket.
Well, that's why in 1982, Brent Musburger coined the phrase on television March Madness, right? Princeton just seconds away from beating Arizona. And I'm just going to say this off the top of my head. I don't know any other number 2 seed that's lost twice. Arizona losing in 93 to Steve Nash in Santa Clara. And now they're going to lose to Princeton in number 15 seed here. So, yeah, Arizona might be the first 2 seed to lose twice in this tournament. Tommy Lloyd, the former Gonzaga assistant as well. Prater, great friend of Leon Rice. Not what they want to have. Let's get it. No brainer, brain scratcher, JP.
Before we get to this, Johnny, you know, we're on video now, and it's been a few days because we were sick and on location and that. And yesterday we were talking about the scratch on your face. Can you just give us a good look at that, the cat's? There it is. There's the cat scratch. Nice. That's why you need to subscribe to the KTIK YouTube channel. All right, this is a March Madness. Thank you, Johnny. This is a March Madness edition of No Brainer Brain Scratcher. I'll give you guys some comments. You tell me if they are a no-brainer or a brain scratcher. Prater, let's start with you. 2 number 1 seeds will make the Final Four.
Let's go no-brainer.
Oh, that's a no-brainer.
I don't think it's going to be Houston. Did you say 2?
2, yes.
Can I change my answer?
Sure.
Brain scratcher.
Yeah, that's a brain scratcher for sure.
It's definitely not going to be Houston. I don't like Houston. Kansas and Alabama, I'm going to give them a lot of love. And Purdue is very inconsistent. I'm going to say it's going to end up at 1, and I think it's going to be Kansas.
He only says 1, Johnny. 2 will make the Final Four.
I'm going to say brain scratcher.
Yeah, that's a brain scratcher for sure.
You know, especially with what we're seeing so far today. I don't know. This might be one of the crazier tournaments we've seen.
We're like 6 games into it.
Right? And it's bonkers, JP. We've seen everything now so far in just 6 games. Yeah, I'll just say that's a brain scratcher.
All right.
I mean, the narrative coming into this tournament was there was more parity in college basketball this year than ever before. Well, why wouldn't it would translate into the tournament?
Yeah.
All right, Johnny. Boise State will get off to a better start in tonight's game than they did last year against Memphis.
No brainer.
Oh, that's a no-brainer.
I'm saying this wishfully, hopefully, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, they'll probably be the first media timeout under 16 minutes, and Northwestern will be up 11-2. You know, it's just been Boise State's MO in this tournament. They like to ease into this thing, but let's hope this is different. Maybe Arizona. I'm sorry, Arizona. Screw those guys. Maybe Northwestern will be the nervous team, right? Nobody on their rosters played in this game. Boise State's, their best 6 players have all played in this tournament. So, you know what? Maybe I'll say no brainer just because I want it to happen.
Prater, Boise State will get off to a better start this year than they have in the past.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. That's
a no-brainer.
I don't see advantage from either team in the first 5 to 10 minutes of this game. I think it's going to be an ugly game all the way throughout. It's going to be a defensive game. It's going to be a sloppy game. It's going to be a physical game. There's not going to be any prettiness whatsoever to this game, and low scoring. So I don't see anybody getting away from anybody. And I see like a 10-8 start or a 12-8 start or something like that. And Boise State's going to be just fine for the first 5-10 minutes tonight.
They won't get down early like Nevada did last night. That was an ugly.
Oh,
ugly
man,
game.
Wasn't that?
All right, Prater. A team seated higher than 10 will make the Sweet 16.
Oh, no-brainer.
Oh, that's a no-brainer.
I like Penn State an awful lot. There's been a lot of love for Penn State out there. I'm just taking a quick peek at my bracket. Lots of people are digging number 12 VCU as well. I was going to take a little bit of a flyer on number 10 USC. They get a lot of love. Don't be surprised if Oral Roberts beats Duke today. Don't be surprised if maybe that's tomorrow, but
that's today. That's coming on like 20. That's
like right before Boise State.
Yeah. I think we're going to get multiple double-digit seeds in the Sweet 16.
Wow. Okay, Johnny. A seed higher than 10 makes the Sweet 16.
No brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
I mean, yeah, I'm with Prater on this one big time. I mean, right now we have Furman with a shot already, and there's only been a few games. They'll play San Diego State. I don't think they're scared of San Diego State. I keep an eye, maybe Penn State as a 10 seed. They've been playing really well. Hey, Arizona State, if they're playing this well, you saw them kick the hell out of Nevada last night. Can they beat TCU? Maybe. Then can they beat Gonzaga? Yeah, maybe. I think we can see it. Heck, Boise State. I know it sounds crazy, but if they can win tonight, I think I give them a puncher's chance against UCLA. If UCLA isn't healthy enough, yeah, I think we might see Prater. I think we might see 3 10 or higher seeds in the Sweet 16. I really do. Good for them.
Okay, let's get this next question out there. We've got one Mountain West tournament win with San Diego State earlier today. The Mountain West will get at least one more win in this tournament. They've got at least 2 more chances.
Okay.
Yeah, no brainer. Boise State's going to win today. We already predicted that, right?
All right.
Boise State's going to win. Done deal.
Johnny?
I don't want to have any bad juju here, I don't want to bring it into the Rope 8 studio, right? I just want to be, Boise State's going to play well. They're going to win. They're going to advance. This town is just going to be elated tonight with this victory. And then tomorrow we're all going to come in here and be so excited. We're going to look for the coverage. We can't wait for Saturday night. Everybody's weekend plans will have to change because they're now going to be based on this basketball game. So I'm just going to stick with that mojo, JP, that juju, that Boise State's going to get this thing done tonight. And it's going to be a very fun next couple of days. And heck, if they win on Saturday, I hope we can talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
I won't bring it up too much now, but that will be a conversation tomorrow if they can win against whoever they play on Saturday. And hey, we just saw Princeton beat Arizona.
Right.
Maybe UNC Asheville can beat UCLA. Who knows? Crazy stuff happens, guys.
All right, Johnny. Jim Nantz will shed a tear when he signs off from the NCAA tournament for the last time.
I'm going to go no-brainer on this.
That's a no-brainer.
He feels emotional. Grant Hill, his partner, will be there. It's going to be before one shining moment. This will be after the game. I don't know if Nance, is he going to be on the stage with them? I'm thinking how they do that. I think he might be. But if he does shed a tear, and I think he will, I think it's still going to be courtside when he's in his booth, so to speak. He won't shed a tear and take away the moment from the national championship team. But if it's just him and Grant might say, Jim, let me just say it's been an honor to work with you and you're the best. Jim Nance will cry, in my opinion, and that's cool. That's cool.
Crying Jim Nance meme coming from Prater.
Brain scratcher.
Yeah, that's a brain scratcher for sure.
Yeah, Johnny's 100% right in terms of the scenario. I mean, he's going to talk about the game, go to a commercial break, and then come back, and then somebody's going to be up on a stage, and I'm assuming it's going to be him because that's how it's always been. And he's not going to upstage himself during that port, and with many, many things to do in that night and that television broadcast. And don't forget, he's still doing the NFL. He's still doing golf. He's still going to be very, very busy man. No, there's no way in hell Jim Nance cries tonight or when he signs off from the Final Four. No way.
All right, Prater. At some point in the next 24 hours, you will personally hear someone say the words, "My bracket is busted."
Yeah, no brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
But I'm just going to keep on walking because I can give a crap about your bracket, and don't be talking about your bracket in front of me. I don't want to, Johnny. I don't care about your bracket, JP. I don't care about your. I'm surprised. JP's the guy that leads a golf tournament before noon on Thursday and brags that he's in first place.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm surprised 5 games into the 68-game tournament, we haven't heard about JP and his bracket yet.
Well,
I'm surprised.
What? When did I brag about being in first place in a golf tournament?
Well,
he's just saying you like that.
Okay.
Like that.
Johnny.
Yes, of course. Everybody talks about. I mean, you go to you can't go through Twitter and social media without
Prater's
people
right,
bragging
though.
about their brackets.
Nobody wants to hear about your bracket. Johnny, someone will tell you personally, my bracket is busted.
No brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
I mean, last time I looked at my phone, I had 4 or 5 text messages from my nerdy friends saying my bracket is destroyed. F you, Arizona. I have this bracket here, JP. I'm crumpling up. I have Arizona losing to Texas in the championship game.
Championship game.
I'm going all the way to the Natty. And I know better. The Pac-12 never goes far. I fall for it every year. Tommy Lloyd, just get off it.
All right, Johnny, as we watch these first-round games, you'll be frustrated at the lack of crowds, knowing that if any of these games were held in Boise, the arena would be packed.
No-brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, this is one of the things that I don't really understand with the tournament. No one's maybe explained it to me, like how this thing goes and why the opening games, the first couple games in every arena, they're not even half empty. They're 75% empty. Feels like the upper deck isn't even touched.
Bob mentioned that the games at the Arizona was upper corners. So that's probably
good for Sacramento, and they do a good job now, a much better job now of keeping teams as close proximity as they can. I've never been to the Boise scene. I don't know. Is the arena packed? Game one,
yes,
totally sold out for every game.
Yes.
See, I wish they would go to venues that would do that more often, because I do see a lot of. I was watching that West Virginia Maryland game. Empty arena. That was the first game of the morning, completely empty. And I'm thinking, NCAA tournament, come on, do better than this, Prater.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy the completely empty thing. And Boise, on those morning sessions on Thursday, that first game, it's not sold out. It's not packed. There's a lot of empty seats on that.
I've never seen it.
10:30 Thursday morning when Princeton's playing Wisconsin.
Yeah,
there's empty seats. I mean, the building itself is sold out, but it's hard to get into that building at that time in that deal logistically. I'm not. My answer to that is a brain scratcher. I'm not going to get frustrated. Most of these buildings are way bigger than Boise, and they're putting more people in there than Boise could put in its building if they had to sell it out. And there's just too much magic to happen to be worrying about 500 empty seats in a building in Sacramento. I'd rather focus on the basketball.
All right, Prater, Johnny Ballgame will do better than 50% of our entrants in the Idaho Sports Talk Bracket Challenge.
No brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
Johnny Ballgame is going to finish top 10. Johnny Ballgame he might win this sucker. Johnny Ballgame is going to blow you and me and Bob so far out of the water. It's not even going to be funny.
Dude, why are you saying that?
No, because you told me yesterday that you've been studying. You told me yesterday you were motivated by what happened last year. You wore your Johnny 307 shirt today. I wore my Johnny 307 hoodie the other day. The motivation is there. The temptation is there. And you've been studying. You frankly you've been no fun this week. You've been studying. Every time you're not even watching videos and television shows in your cubicle. You're studying. You're studying. You're studying. And I think Johnny Ballgame was highly motivated last year. Johnny Ballgame is one of the smartest sports guys I have ever known. And Johnny Ballgame is going to kick our ass in the Idaho Sports Talk Bracket Challenge.
Johnny, you'll do better than 50% of our entrants.
No brainer. I mean,
nice.
That's
the confidence I want to hear.
I guess everything Prater said. And by the way, that bracket I crumpled up is not my number one bracket. Okay, my number one bracket. I'm still alive in, and
nobody wants to hear.
Nobody wants to hear about your bracket.
I won't say. But yeah. So I'll finish better than half. Yeah, for sure.
All right, Johnny. Najee Smith is Boise State's most likely player to make it into the One Shining Moment montage.
Oh gosh, no brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
The reason I see it, he hits a big three. He does his arrow pull, when he's coming back. He shoots the arrow into the stands, that type of thing. Sure. I mean, if Najee gets that opportunity, problem is he's going to have that moment, and there's probably a better chance that Tyson Degenhart. Everybody makes one shining moment, I think. Is that what do they do that on?
Every team?
Yeah, I think every team gets like at least a millisecond.
Probably,
I thought they show every team. Maybe not though. I don't watch One Shining Moment. It usually pisses me off because I've just lost money on the game or whatever. I don't want to stick around for One Shining Moment. I mean, that song makes me want to punch myself in the face. But if there's any character, I'll give it to Najee.
Prater, Najee Smith, most likely Boise State player in One Shining Moment.
Yeah, brain scratcher.
Yeah, that's a brain scratcher for sure.
I'd put him fourth. I mean, Marcus Shaver is so dramatic in the way he plays on the court, flying his body all over the place. We know Max, if Max gets on a roll, he's going to be the dramatic drama queen. And I say that, I like that. I think that's cool. Tyson Degenhart is going to be the most active guy on the floor. So, for Najee to do that, it's going to have to be one incident, and he's going to have to be able to get that incident on the court. And I don't see that happening. So I'll take those other three.
All right, Prater, the 13 seed Furman Paladins knocked out Virginia earlier today. If you ask 10 sports fans right now what a Paladin was, you would get one correct answer.
Brain scratcher, 0.
Yeah, that's a brain scratcher for sure.
0.
Johnny, one correct answer about a Paladin.
No-brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
I
know what
had
it is?
no clue. That's a good question because there's a lot of people who pride themselves on being able to name the nickname of every school. In college basketball, there's 358 Division I programs. Just to be able to say all 358,
Well,
I don't know anybody who
that's not
does.
necessarily the question. The question
10
is,
people.
what is a Paladin? The question is, if you ask somebody, would they know what a Paladin is? What the nickname is?
No one would know.
Okay.
I would think 10 people. I mean, where am I? Am I on the campus of Harvard? Then maybe 8 people would tell me.
Well, that's true.
Am I walking around in a Walmart in Boise? Then there's no chance in hell anybody is going to know what a Paladin. They'll think it's a thing that you put up a piece of wood, a frame that you put a bunch of stuff on and you wrap it and you ship it like a pallet, right? That's what they would probably think if I ran into some yahoos over there in Middleton or something.
What?
Depends where you are. I think it's a night though.
It is
right?
a night. See, there's one right there. One among a.
I
had
stole
no
I stole
idea.
that from Matt, the state trooper. He's on parole. He's on, not parole. He's on patrol right now, Prater, and he just texted that in.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Matt,
a cop
if
knows
Matt was
He
one of
looked
our
it
guys.
up.
All right. Finally, Johnny.
it.
Johnny. The NCAA tournament is the best playoff in sports. The best playoff. We'll call it a playoff.
No brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
This is tough. I love a great 7-game series. But this
I don't believe you believe your answer, ball game. I think you should change it.
It's really hard, but I think it's the best tournament in the country. Just tournament. And tournament is a playoff, but I'm going to stick with
NFL
it.
postseason's a tournament. NFL postseason's a tournament.
And I love it. Yeah.
Are you changing?
The World Series is a tournament.
Are you changing?
It's better than baseball. I'll give it that. Again, I'll say NFL. Okay, I take it
Yeah,
back.
that's a brain scratcher for sure.
I take it back.
Prater?
Brain scratcher, not even close.
Yeah,
Give me the
that's a
Stanley
brain
Cup
scratcher for
playoffs
sure.
every
Oh,
single time.
Hockey geek.
1,000 times over the NFL and 2,000 times over March Madness.
Hockey geek.
If you told me you can only watch one of these for the rest of your life, I will watch the Stanley Cup playoffs every year and never watch the NFL or March Madness again, and I'd be perfectly happy with it.
Love it, man. I love it. JP, what's it for you? The Masters? Is that a playoff?
Well, that's not a
No.
playoff. No.
What's it for you? What's the greatest playoff?
I would say the NFL playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Najee Smith. He's going to talk about Boise State's tournament experience coming up and rock, jocks, and pop culture right around the corner. Prater in the ball game. March Madness on KTIK The Ticket.